Hello, and welcome to the Cambrian College Library and Learning Commons. I'm your librarian, Marnie Seal, and today I'll be showing you how to search for journal articles here at the library. To get started, first think about your research topic and write down a list of key words that you can use while searching for information. This might sound like a pain, but you'll be happy that you took this extra step later on if you get stuck in your search. Once you're on the Library and Learning Commons website, try looking at our subject guides to get ideas for your topic. Once you click on the subject guides, use the drop-down menu to select a guide by program area. For this example, we'll look at the business subject guide. In the center column, you'll see new books that we have purchased recently for this subject area. In the left column, you'll see subject areas connected to business if you'd like to browse for a book or journal on our shelves. You'll also see your library subject liaison's contact information. Feel free to talk to any of our library staff at any time. You can even come in without an appointment. When you click on the eBooks tab, you'll see a list of ebooks recommended by your library subject liaison. Similarly, when you click on the Magazines and Journals tab, you'll see a list of recommended publications. They've also recommended DVDs, which you can see under the DVD tab. By clicking on Library Databases, you'll see a list of recommended databases that you can use to locate journal articles related to your subject area. You can click on the Library Databases tab to see a full list of all the databases you can search. If your instructor has recommended searching in a particular database, you'll find it in this list. Looking at this list may be overwhelming, so we've provided a few popular databases which you can find on the right. These databases are quite large and encompass a broader range of areas, which is a good way to start your search, especially if you're in the early stages of your research. For this example, we'll look at EBSCOhost. Once inside, click on the EBSCOhost web to launch the database. You'll be presented with a list of databases within EBSCOhost. For the purpose of this example, we'll access Academic Search Premier, since it's a large, multidisciplinary database. The main page is your search interface, and this is where your list of search terms will come in handy. For this example, let's imagine that we're writing a paper on how hand washing affects disease control. I'm going to type in hand wash as two separate words, followed by an asterisk, to bring up any different endings for the word wash, such as hand washing, hand washed, or hand washes. I've also included the word hand wash as one word, followed by an asterisk, in case this term was entered as one word within the article's searchable fields. This seems like a small detail, but it can actually make a big difference in terms of the number of results that you get. By selecting and entering disease control, I'm ensuring that the term disease control also appears in conjunction with the term hand washing. From looking at my list of keywords, I know that another possible way to say disease control is infection control, so I'm going to select or and add this term to my search. If I'd like to narrow this search down further, I can select a specific field to search within from the drop-down menu. A few other things to consider are your search options below. If your instructor has asked you to have peer-reviewed journal articles, you can check this box. If your instructor has asked that your journal articles are within a specific date range, you can specify that here on the right. If you'd like to narrow down your search by document type, you can select one here. On the right, you can also select a publication type and language. We'll select English. We would also recommend selecting PDF full text so that you're getting the full article, which is available to be downloaded as a PDF and not just the abstract. At the very bottom, I'll click Search. I can see that I've returned over 7,000 results. On the left, I can see a number of ways which I can further narrow down these results. For example, if I adjust the publication date here to specify only articles that were more recently published, I can see that the number of results gets updated. If I want to narrow down my results by geography, I can select Geography and then click on Show More. A full list of countries will appear, and I'll select the United States and Canada. I can see by the number of results that this narrowed down my results quite a bit. If I'm interested in this article, I can click on the title to pull up the article record. To read a brief summary or abstract of this article, I can scroll down. If I've decided this is a useful article for my research, I can download the PDF or I can use the tools on the right-hand side to print it, email it to myself, or save it to a USB. If I want to cite this article, I can click Cite, and I will be presented with a list of citation style options. The most popular one here at Cambrian is APA. This is a great tool, but always double check that this citation information is formatted correctly. Similar to our book catalog, you can also click on any of the hyperlinked words on this page. For example, if I'd like to view all articles written by this author, I can click on their name. If you've found information about an article that you're interested in outside of our databases and aren't sure if you have access to it through Cambrian's databases, make a note of the publication title and then head back to the library databases page and select eJournals A to Z. Here you can search for a specific title of a publication. For example, if I type in Maclean's, I can see that we have 3 types of publications with Maclean's in the title. I can see that it's available here in our print periodical collection, and it's also available online through several of these databases listed here, which we subscribe to. And if you still can't find a specific article that you're looking for, we can request it for you through our interlibrary loan service. Just bring the citation information in to one of our library staff, and we'll be happy to help you locate it. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask us at any time.